Hey guys, thanks for tuning into Investments and Refreshments. My name is JT, and today we're actually doing a live stream with Gore from Modeling Success Successfully. So if you guys are interested in hearing me talk about life, stocks, crypto, and beer, then stay tuned. Let's jump right into the live stream.
So let's get right into it. Tell me, JT, what is it that got you into investing? And before we you answer that question, I want this is something that I already know about you, but I want you to briefly let the audience know about how you come about investing and how you come about your Instagram as well as YouTube and as well as other social media pages, Investments and Refreshments. How did you come about investing in YouTube?
For sure. So as far as YouTube goes, I kind of grew up on YouTube. It's always been a platform that I appreciate. It feels like creators can be held accountable, and a lot of creators that try and come off as knowing more than they actually do, or they spread lies to their audience, they are called out upon. And it's interesting to see a living, breathing environment where people can actually be held accountable. Also, you can learn so much on YouTube. It's a great resource to try and gain knowledge. So it's a great place, and I've always wanted to start a channel, and finally I felt like I had a good enough idea to kind of test the waters, and I've really enjoyed myself. I'm going to continue making videos, and I hope that some of what I say can be helpful. Now, as far as investing goes, I've gotten into investing in the past few years. Since about 2017, 2018, I had started learning about it, learning about how the stock market is considered the world's greatest wealth generator. And I wanted to get involved and kind of start trying to build some wealth for myself. And I try and do that by doing research, doing fundamental analysis, technical analysis on several different stocks and companies that I would be interested in getting involved with. Sometimes that could be short term, sometimes that could be long term. It's all case by case. But I've very much enjoyed doing that. It's very fun, and it's also exciting whenever things go the way that your thesis would suggest. And I've very much enjoyed investing in the stock market, investing in cryptocurrencies. I haven't really dabbled too much in real estate right now. We can get into that in a little bit, but that's something I'm very interested in getting involved with. Right now, I'm very skeptical about getting involved. It's red hot, and that always kind of scares me a bit. So, but we can talk about that more in detail in a little bit. Instagram, I've always enjoyed Instagram. It feels like people can be their real self. They can be transparent, and I've always enjoyed being able to just have a snapshot, like a window into someone's life, and see exactly what they're doing, exactly what they're interested in. And I think it's a great way to connect with your audience and build a community.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Very, very good answer. Thank you so much for that, JT. And guys, as you know, JT is from Investments and
No worries at all.
Refreshments. So here is where I'm going to have JT take over and let you guys know where the name Investments and Refreshment comes from. And then we're going to go to David Centeno's question, because that's a great one. Go ahead, JT. Take it over, please. How did you come by the name Investments and Refreshments?
So I was really enjoying, hanging out with my friends and drinking a few beers, talking about stocks, talking about crypto. And I was always thinking, like, wouldn't it be just great if financial education was more accessible? It felt more easy to digest. A lot of times people can come off as like gatekeepers of knowledge who try and represent themselves as and kind of intellectuals. I wanted to present it in a way that's fun, like hanging out with your friends, having a beer, and talking about stocks. So that's awesome. The goal. And then
Cheers,
I came up with the name. Cheers. Yeah, and here I'll go ahead and open up mine.
Oh,
on
awesome.
so that we
Yours
can
is
get
not
this
open. I'm
shot.
way ahead of schedule. Sorry. I got a dry mouth. I had to quench my thirst.
No, no, no worries, no worries. This thing, just looking at the can, it has me thirsty. This thing looks great.
Hazy little thing.
Yeah, hazy
Hazy
little
IPA.
thing. This is an IPA from the Sierra Nevada Brewing Company. Hazy IPA, if people don't know, is it's the same thing as like a New England IPA or a juicy IPA. It is it's got tropical and juicy flavors, so it kind of tones down that bitterness that you normally get from an IPA.
That's awesome. I actually like it a lot. It does have that bitterness undertone at the end. It's like eating the seed of the. I don't know if you've ate the seed of the apricot, but there are apricots that have sweet seeds when you break the hard shell of the seed inside, and then there are apricots who have a little bitter taste to it. This reminds me of the bitter apricot seed, and I've
Mm.
noticed actually Trader Joe's started putting them on certain desserts. It's like shaved bitter apricot seed, like an
Huh.
actual seed on top of a dessert,
That's
and it gives a
fascinating.
it is, and it gives a similar aftertaste when you eat it. So it's really nice they're
I
getting
wonder if
into
this has
food as
some
well.
apricot in there. That's an interesting note.
Let's get to David Centenos. David, thank you so much for being here. David was a guest to our podcast a few episodes ago. Thank you so much for your time, David. And you have a really great question. David is asking to JT, hey, Gore, what does JT make of Gary Vaynerchuk's push towards MetaMask and his followers purchasing Ethereum?
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. Definitely. Let's first talk about. I do follow Gary Vee. I think that he's an inspiration. He's a hustler for sure. For anyone who's a an entrepreneur, you guys should check out Gary Vee if you haven't already heard of him. I actually do use MetaMask myself for certain projects. I made a video about Decentraland, and you use MetaMask to connect to your Decentraland. Also, you would use MetaMask to connect to several different NFT platforms. So it is definitely useful if you want to invest in NFTs. Also, Ethereum is a great cryptocurrency. It's probably going to, in my opinion, there's a good chance that it's going to overtake Bitcoin at some point as far as mass
Really?
adoption goes. Oh, definitely.
I would
There are
love
so
that.
many
I'm
more.
holding a lot of Ether. I would love that. I've been holding since 4.5 years ago.
The great thing about Ethereum is the potential for self-destruction, for halving, for all of these different things, and also the use cases. A lot of NFTs are built on the Ethereum network, and as a blockchain technology with Ethereum 2 coming up, it's going to become so much more efficient, so much easier to use, and cheaper to use than most other cryptocurrencies.
Understood. Very good. And can you real quick, if you could, touch up on Ethereum 2, and what is the difference between the current version Ethereum platform and Ethereum 2? What is the really big major difference that people don't understand or maybe don't know about?
Gotcha. So it's my understanding that the biggest difference between Ethereum and Ethereum 2.0 is that Ethereum 2.0 is going to be a proof of stake model versus the proof of work model. So Ethereum works on something called proof of work, which most other cryptocurrencies work on. And there are some cryptocurrencies that claim to be proof of stake, but they work a little bit differently than what Ethereum is going to do with proof of stake. Proof of work means that your machine has to do several very complex algorithms to prove that this is the machine that your cryptocurrency works on, and it is your cryptocurrency. That's how it proves that you are the true owner of that cryptocurrency based on the ledger. But proof of stake works a little bit differently. It works more as like a digital signature. So it takes like it's exponentially faster, and also it's a lot less energy intensive. So a lot of people's huge concerns, and they're very well-founded concerns, is that cryptocurrency is so energy consuming. So like Bitcoin itself, it consumes
You're
the same
talking
amount of
about
energy.
mining, correct?
just spending. So the amount of energy that it takes to every transaction, whether you're buying Ethereum, whether you're selling Ethereum, whether you're spending Ethereum on an NFT, whether you're minting an NFT, all of these are transactions that happen that take energy through the proof of work model. So you have to prove, you have to go through the proof of work in every single transaction. So once this changes to the proof of stake model, then it's going to be a lot faster, it's going to use less energy, and it's going to be cheaper, which is important.
Understood. That actually makes clear sense, and thank you so much for that detailed explanation. It's really, you made it as if you're explaining it to a person with who is very young, let's just say. So, and that's the best way of explaining. Yes, that's the, if you can explain it to a minor, that means you have a very clear understanding of the topic you're talking about. So let's get back to the topic. Can we talk about the MetaMask a bit more into it, because I'm not really quite clear on that.
Yeah, for sure. So MetaMask is a wallet that's compatible with, for instance, OpenSea, which is a platform where you can buy and sell NFTs. It's also compatible with CryptoKitties. It's compatible with Decentraland. It's compatible with a lot of different platforms where you can buy and sell or utilize your cryptocurrencies. I use MetaMask myself. I haven't directly connected my bank account to it. What I have sent cryptocurrency from my preferred exchanges to my MetaMask wallet, so it is kind of an indirect connection. But the exchange that I'm talking about is Coinbase. So I've sent Ethereum from my Coinbase. Nice. Oh, I'm excited to talk about Coinbase as a stock and also as a platform for buying cryptocurrency. But yeah, I've bought Ethereum on Coinbase since 2018 as well. And nice. Yeah, so I think that it's a great platform, and I just send that to my MetaMask wallet, so I haven't connected it directly to my bank account. If there are some controversies currently about MetaMask with hackers, I don't know. Maybe I'm not as informed on that situation, but I've used MetaMask myself. It's really easy to use. You just you save your security phrase, and then you can recover your wallet. You can sign back in, etc. Again, anything with cryptocurrency wallets, as long as you save your private key, generally I would say that you're pretty safe. Hackers with cryptocurrency, that's the reason why the blockchain is so incredible, is because if they're going to hack into something, they're going to have to hack into each person's wallet individually. Whereas previously, if somebody hacked into a bank, then they hacked into a bank's database, then they would have access to everyone that utilizes the bank. Blockchain's great because each person has their own private ledger, so you have to hack into each person individually.
Right. Very well. And you touched upon again multiple topics that I personally want to talk about. The David's question versus US dollar digital currency.
The US dollar digital currency is going to feel the same inflation that you would feel with the dollar. So I'm not really into anything that's tethered to the dollar. I remember whenever USDT came out years ago, and again, I was like, this is counterintuitive to what cryptocurrency is. It's a hedge against inflation, but something tethered to the dollar is going to feel that same inflation that the dollar experiences.
So David is asking, how can you value Ether with flat dollars when flat dollars have no intrinsic value?
That's a great question. A lot of times you're able to see how inflation is going to affect fiat currency prior to it actually having that impact. And with Ethereum, the value of Ethereum to the dollar right now actually will be going up as the dollar experiences inflation. As the dollar becomes less valuable, it can still have that same ratio of current dollar to Ethereum, but as inflation takes hold of the dollar, that ratio of the dollar to Ethereum will actually have an upward trajectory. Because the value of the dollar goes down, but the value of Ethereum with the pre-specified supply of Ethereum, it's just that's how it works. So the dollar, whenever it experiences inflation, technically that correlation to Ethereum, it actually works in the Ethereum holders' favor. So if you guys wouldn't mind, if you enjoyed what you heard on this podcast, check out my YouTube channel. It is Investments and Refreshments. If you type that into the search bar, it's the first channel that pops up. You can watch a few of my videos. If you enjoy what you see, please hit subscribe, maybe hit that notification bell icon so that you're updated whenever I post. Hit the like button. And then if you want to follow more content, you can go to my Instagram. It's Investments and Refreshments. Well, I was just going to see if you wanted to maybe review this beer with me.
Awesome. I've never done a beer review, so why don't
Yeah.
you carry on? Why don't you lead the way, please?
So I would say after drinking this myself, I don't know about you, but this thing is delicious. It's really smooth, refreshing. I'll be buying more of these for sure. It's the Sierra Nevada Hazy Little Thing IPA. And you can definitely appreciate the tropical juices, the flavor there. It's not too bitter. It's really sweet for an IPA. And at 6.8% ABV, I believe. 6.7% ABV.
Yep.
It
What
is
does ABV stand for?
alcohol by volume. So it's actually very tame for something so high in ABV. It's really smooth. So I'm going to give this thing actually a 4.9 out of 5. This is delicious, and I'll be buying more of these. What do you think about it, Gore? I want to hear your opinion.
My personal opinion, first of all, anytime I see a blonde beer, that's already a positive note to me, because I cannot go with the dark beers. The only dark beer I drink is Guinness, and that's only when my taste buds are not there anymore. So that I don't feel it too much. But the blonde beers, I specifically, that's full of flavor in there. In the beginning, I kind of get a little hint of the peel of the grapefruit, the outer layer, not the inside. And then afterwards, you get this feeling of little fulfillment of, I don't want to say wood, because it's not woody oaky taste, but it's desserty, kind of like you bite into a dessert, it's full of texture. So this blonde beer, a lot of people think blonde beer would be light, but this one is actually full of texture and blonde.
It's full for sure.
Yeah, and it
It's
finishes
full
up
bodied.
with exactly, and finishes up with a nice undertone of a light. It's not really bitter. It's bitter mixed with. It's like grapefruit bitter, if you know what I mean. And if I were to rate it on a scale of 0 to 5, I honestly would give it. It would be right up with, I would say 4.6, 4.7 around there, just because it has that bitter undertone. If I were to take a few elements away, I would take the bitter undertone away, and I would leave everything else. That's my personal opinion. So
Gotcha.
if you would take the bitterness away, it would be straight 5 for me.
Awesome. Well, those are some good scores for this beer. So
Yes.
I would say if you guys are watching this, you might consider checking this thing out. Remember, though, to only drink responsibly and only invest responsibly as well.
Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. You guys have a great rest of the Sunday. JT, pleasure meeting you again. You have
Pleasure
a
meeting
great
you.
rest of your day, brother. Thank you so much. We'll speak again soon.
Not sponsored.
This is the
No.
channel for modeling success successfully, and this is the podcast that we bring you every Sundays at 1 p.m. Pacific time. Thank you so much, you guys. Have a great rest of the day. Bye-bye.